Being with masculine, problematic, combative women makes you vulnerable, right? It makes you vulnerable. And this is very important because you're starved of real intimacy. You don't get that true masculine, feminine, polarizing dynamic. You don't get that paradox. You don't get that yin and yang balance. You don't get that true chemistry, that true connection that's God given from a man and a woman. You don't get that true thing. This is why even in like homosexual relationships, there's always, even if two men are together, the one is more feminine and one is more masculine. That's the true dynamic. That's the true balance. That's the ultimate peace. You understand? And when you are with a masculine woman, you're not gonna get that. You know? And if you don't have that, you're not gonna have real intimacy. And so what do? You go trick, you go meet shitty bitches, you cheat. You know, you let any old dirtbag woman smile at you and you even think it's an idea of intimacy. You go all in, you have side babies, and you know what I'm saying? Because you're in a situation to where you're not growing, you're vulnerable, you don't got no real intimacy. And so you out in the world putting your energy out trying to find this thing that you need, right? That you desire as a human being. You trying to find this because you're not getting it at home. You know, you're not getting it with your partner. You understand? You starved. You starving. I'm not just talking about sex. I'm talking about real intimacy. You know, you don't want to be in the world vulnerable because being vulnerable leads you to attack. There's all type of weird, wild, evil women that's looking for your blood, especially if you have anything to lose, real shit to lose. And it'd be a lot of guys who got a lot to lose that be losing it because they stepping outside of their family or stepping outside of their situation and dealing with some dirtbag chick who make them feel good at the moment because they're vulnerable and they end up getting fleeced in the whole nine and they just end up looking crazy. They take half their shit. Now they got babies all over the fucking place. And then, you know, the masculine woman, now she gonna sink her teeth in and come get all that shit. Divorce you and take it all. So now you just left with a child support all over the fucking place. The dirtbag who made you feel good treating you like shit too. So it's just a vicious cycle, bro. You know, and that's the rebound situation. So it feels worse because it feels worse now because it made you feel better from the initial situation. You know, but being in situations with women like this, it makes you vulnerable. Even when you break up, when you vulnerable, man, you accept anything. So you get out of a situation like this, y'all break up, you'll get, this is why dudes be with strippers and all type of shit. They be vulnerable. Getting with women who know that ain't no good for them. Clearly ain't no good for them. Vulnerable. And all a woman got to do is be soft. That's all it requires. As soon as a woman is soft, you melt. And just because a woman is soft don't mean that she's righteous. Always remember that. Just because a woman is soft, just because a woman is feminine, just because a woman is flowing and sweet, and that don't mean she's righteous. That don't mean that she's a good person, bro. The most dirtbaggest, evilest of women are soft and feminine. You know, and they're a lot worse than these masculine women. And that's a whole nother show for a whole nother day. But don't think because a woman is feminine that they say, they somehow just righteous. You guys go to these passport, shout out to my passport bros. You guys go to these other countries and think because the women are softer and more feminine, right, that they're somehow more righteous. And they be setting dudes up, they keep drugging you. Like, one thing you don't really have to worry about here with the masculine women here is like typically, now if you deal with a hood rat and you're a drug dealer, then, that's the game. That happens in the game. Wolves trying to catch other wolves, so they send a woman at you. They send the weakness at you and shit, things that make you weak. But outside of shit like that, if you're a regular working guy, if you work at fucking the hospital or you fucking work, you're a cop or a military guy and you fucking date a nurse. Like, you don't have to worry about her drugging you and setting you up. You don't have to, just, average normal people don't have to worry about that. But guys are going down there getting drugged and killed from these soft, sweet women. You know, and a lot of these times these women got dudes in their ear. But what I'm saying is a lot of guys get that confused. And so they say, oh, well, I'm going to go to Colombia or whatever because the women are more softer, which is, of course, everybody, we love the soft and feminine shit. But what I'm saying is don't let your guard down because you think that somehow means righteous. You know, because typically, you know, they say the devil don't come with horns, bro. That's just propaganda. And the devil comes soft, sweet, and just like sugar. Sugar tastes extremely good, but it's the worst drug in the world. You understand what I'm saying? So vulnerable energy makes you susceptible to stuff like this. It leaves you open to stuff like this. As soon as a woman is soft, is all it takes for a woman to be soft, and she got you. Hook, line, and sinker. So always be careful of that. Always be mindful of that. You'll be mindful of your vulnerable energy. But this is how, you know, it hinders your game, because when you're vulnerable, you can't make good decisions. When you're vulnerable, you can't be as productive. When you're vulnerable, you're not a real strong man when you're weak and vulnerable. And just because you got muscles and shit and you can talk, you know, physical strength don't mean you're a solid dude. You know, you out here weak and vulnerable like a lamb because you've been starved for intimacy for so long. You understand? So just keep that in mind, guys.